Hello. Right, hello and welcome to LEG Travel Live. I'm Jen, here to talk about our next topic for LEG Travel Live. Let's see, does not actually appear to be live. Is anyone there? Oh, there we go. I see it coming now. All right, thank you everyone. I appreciate your help. Anyways, I am Jen with LEG Travel. And last time I talked to you, I had asked sort of a getting started question. And the one I have for you today is I would love to know what your job is and maybe like a little fun thing about it, like when you tell people what is their first response, or maybe a a silly joke you like to put at the end or whatever. I know Dr. Josh has a good one. I will start. Obviously, I'm a travel agent. Um, and the first question I get asked when I tell people this is, or I guess it's not even a question, is they say, I didn't know travel agents still existed. Um, I get this literally 100% of the time. Um, so obviously we are still here. And that's what I get from like just people out in the world, friends and family. I've been really surprised once they get more comfortable talking about it. Often worry that maybe I'm in a pyramid scheme, or that a travel agent's job is to scam people. So that wasn't great. So that's one of the things I want to talk about today. What is a travel agent? Why do we still need them? Why do you need them? Um, let's see what we have from there. I want to talk about why we are relevant, needed, and what the future might look like. First, let me check out what we've got here. Josh says I'm a clinical genomic scientist. People's eyes usually glaze over when I say my title. I've witnessed this. He also likes the joke, I'm not that kind of doctor. I like that one quite a bit. And I'll get to some of these other ones too. It looks like we are lagging just a little bit. That's all right. So anyways, first I want to talk about relevance. Um, First of all, the job of a travel agent has changed a lot over the years. Obviously, it used to be super important for a travel agent for someone to have a travel agent because it was the easiest way to get your tickets and get everything you needed, find vendors. Now with the internet, things have gotten a little easier. So a lot more people are doing it on their own, but the travel agents still have a place in there. What we're seeing now is that travel agents are mostly used and very much needed for custom trips. Things like, again, I am an adventure travel specialist, so things like a meditation trip in Bali, things like that. While you can find vendors out there, I know three just offhand. So let me help you, save you some time. Travel agents now are also very popular for groups. If any of you have traveled in a group before, I'm sure you know how challenging it can be, just herding cats. So while I can't help with every step, I can definitely help minimize. Your travel agent is going to help with all the logistics. They're going to be the bad guy to tell, Aunt Susan that no, we can't all do that, or whatever it is. They'll help take care of all of the logistical pieces so you can focus on spending time with your family, friends, group, whatever it is. Which brings me to the next thing that travel agents are currently being used for a lot is niche travel. So again, these are things like this week I am helping a client plan for a women's wellness retreat. Or a couple weeks ago, I looked at a custom trip to China, and they had very specific, like they were hikers, so they want a very specific experience when they're out there, not just Beijing and Shanghai. Another big thing that travel agents are being used for currently is luxury travel. Again, when you're doing luxury, you don't want to do a lot of the planning. You want everything to be done. So this is another area that travel agents are very much beneficial for. Again, let us handle logistics. Let us think of the small details. Make sure that the whole thing runs the way you expect a luxury trip to run. And then some things are just the same of, maybe back before people were ordering tickets and trips through travel agents because they were too busy or didn't know how to go through the process of going to the airport and buying the tickets and whatnot. It's still very much the same. We're seeing a lot of Gen Xers and millennials who are really busy at work and just want to have their trip done for them. They don't want to have to worry about all the planning and instead just get right to the actual adventure. So, hello everyone who has joined. Hi Kathy, hi Josh, hi Amy. Hi there. All right, so next up, I wanted to talk about why one might need a travel agent today. If you aren't in one of those groups, which most of us are, why still having a travel agent is great. I know you all can get on the internet and you can book your own hotels. You can book your own cruises. But why? When you can help us. Your travel agent is going to first and foremost save you time. I don't know how you all plan your trips, but I tend to really look into them. I dig quite deeply. So the planning stage is 1 to 2 weeks. The execution stage is another week. And then I have to write all the notes, and then I have to send it to everybody. And then, so again, let me take care of those first 3 weeks. I've got you there. I've got and not just me, the whole team. We have a ton of travel knowledge. This is what we do. This is our career. I am reading travel newspapers every single day. I am looking at articles. I'm watching influencers. I'm talking to vendors. I do a lot of personal travel. And your travel is important to us. So we are going to do the research if we don't already know what's going on to make it great. And as you know, LEG Travel does have a full team. We have different areas that we're specialists at, and we work together to make sure that we've got everything covered and that you've got an agent that's going to fit your needs. The other thing that we do to help save time beyond the knowledge and research is making sure to compare options. Again, I know a lot of vendors. I go to conferences a couple times a year. Kathy does several more. And so all of us together, we are getting to know these vendors. We're asking the hard questions and finding out what each company's niche and specialty is to make sure we've got our clients on the right path. Like I'm sure many of you know, not every cruise line is the same. Have any of you been on a cruise? What lines did you like and which ones didn't you like? They all have a little bit of a different vibe. Those that like Carnival probably aren't going to like Silver Seas or Norwegian, and vice versa. Let us help you find these nuances rather than you having to spend all that time researching, which obviously brings it to the value section as well. Not only are we saving you time, we're making sure that you get the most value out of your trip. And the travel agents in general, we're working on commission, but I don't want to inflate your prices just so I get paid for or whatever. That doesn't make sense to me. The best business model any of us can have is to have returning clients. I want you to come home and say, I can't believe how much amazing experiences you were able to pack into this trip for that price. That was incredible. Let's do it again in a couple of months. Like, that is our goal. We're bringing value. I want to give you insights from our firsthand experiences. I want to help offer promotions. As a travel agent, we are not a pyramid scheme, us personally here at LAG Travel. Kathy owns LEG Travel. The L stands for Lowry, Kathy Lowry. We do work under, or we do pay for a service to put us into a group of travel agents to help with our, I forget the word, collaborative bargaining? Collective bargaining, thank you. So we've got great opportunities to give our clients special promotions, added amenities. I just got home from an Alaskan cruise where I had 50 guests on board with me and I was hosting them. Their cruise to Alaska on the Queen Elizabeth Cunard was the same price as it was online, but we were able to get them a VIP cocktail party. I was on board to help assist them with anything they need and had office hours, and they were using them. And then we got an exclusive excursion for free. In Ketchikan, we did an all-you-can-eat crab feast before going to the local village area to see the totem poles. We saw an artist who has been doing, like, he's a master totem polist, who's got works all over the world in museums and hotels. Like, it was so cool, and it was particularly fun to come home from that. Not come home, but back to the ship from that, and be at dinner with my friend and have some of these guests come back and just say what an amazing experience they had and how grateful they were that I was able to set this up for them, or their travel agent was able to set this up for them because we worked as a group. So that's really special, and I think all of us travel agents want that for our guests. Josh says, Sandy says that Royal Caribbean, but she wants to try Silver Seas. Oh, I love that. Those two actually pair really well, I think. A nice move up in that one. So excellent choice. Josh says Royal Caribbean has been a favorite line in the past, but I'm really starting to enjoy Princess. But I want to try some others too. I'm with you, obviously, bestie. Princess is great. They treat us very well. I love that. Royal Caribbean, so much fun though, so that's always a hard balance. But I do love the itineraries with Princess. I feel like they really blow it out of the park. But I'm so excited. Josh and I will be going to Alaska again. This will be his first trip, but we're going on Silver Sea. I can't wait. And Josh also asks, how much does it cost to hire a travel agent? Excellent question. I didn't even have that in my notes, and I probably should have. Because this is another question I get a lot. Again, the family members are saying, it's pyramid scheme. I already told you we are not a pyramid scheme. It is Kathy and me and Sandy and Cindy and all that. And that is all. We are just a regular travel company. But then they also say, is it a scam? And it is not. Again, we are selling these trips at the price they are marked. That Alaskan trip, all of my guests went for the same price as it was being sold online. Some of them for less if they had other discounts or amenities, because travel agents are paid on a commission. So for the most part, we do not charge fees. Now, it does depend on the agent you get and the kind of experience you're looking for. I do sometimes charge a fee for custom services and custom trips. So these are ones where you just come to me, like this gentleman a couple weeks ago for China, had said, I've never been to China. I don't even particularly know what I want to do. I just want to hike. I've got 15 days. Go. So obviously that's going to take quite a bit more work from me and a lot of personal experience and knowledge to build this trip for him from scratch. And so I told him in advance that there was a fee. I usually, just personally, I do $200 per week of travel. But again, everyone's a little bit different. But for the most part, I do not charge a fee at all, especially if it's just, hotels and flights, cruises, that sort of thing. Hi, Kelsey. Another big reason you want to have a travel agent is because we are your advocate while you are traveling. When we are building the itinerary and once you receive your itinerary, I talk with the client first thing. They tell me what they're looking for. I had one a few months ago that says, I want to do this section in Spain, and then maybe also France and Italy, maybe Hungary, and could we also go to England? But I only have 7 days. So this is a great opportunity for me to come in and maybe suggest an alternative. What they ended up doing is going on a cruise, so they were able to see all of the stops except for Hungary and England. But they also get to go to Greece, and they were pretty excited about it. And then once the itinerary is made, you have a second pair of eyes to help make sure everything's lined up, everything looks good. We always read the small print. We have an idea of where those extra fees might be coming from, what sort of other sort of surprise costs might be from, and we can talk to you about that and help you manage those. And then also while you're on your trip, are those sort of like travel emergencies. If you have a difficulty with your flight, we can help arrange your next one. Or in one case, I actually just rebooked him right there while he was still on the plane. So he was able to get off. He got my text message. It just went great and straight to the gate. I had another client whose transfer didn't show up. This sort of stuff happens all the time, especially in Europe. And I was just a text away. We got another one, no problem, and then got a refund. The cruise line was the one that had organized it. So I called up the cruise line. They got my clients some onboard credit. So they were well taken care of. They got everything they needed. And then, of course, I do everything we can to go above and beyond to help them out. Ooh, yeah, Josh says, tell them about the infant ticket. So just a couple of months ago, I had a client who booked a trip with her large family, including a toddler and an infant. And we booked everything through a cruise line. And the cruise line forgot to book the infant for like a section of the trip. So the infant's name was on all of the tickets. We had double checked everything. But the clients get to the gate. They made it from Boise to Seattle, and then Seattle, they're like, well, how did you get here? This baby doesn't have a ticket, and they needed to go to Iceland. So poor thing, she's calling me in a panic. They're not gonna let me on the plane and all this and that. So we got it taken care of. She got the baby on the plane. We had to pay a little bit. It was like a small fee there in the moment to just make sure she got on the plane. But then while she was in the air, I was on the phone with the cruise line. I was on the phone with the airline. I was sending emails to our business manager. So by the time she landed, she had a full refund for the extra money she had paid for the new ticket. She had a refund for the original ticket, and she had an onboard credit for her cruise. So just those sorts of things, like they're not all going to be that much of a success, which but I was super, super excited to be able to do that for her, and I will always push as hard as I can to have everyone be that much of a success. But hopefully you won't have any trouble at all. Finally, I love that the travel agent just gives genuine care. We are just a local business. This is my office at my house in the upstairs of my apartment here in Boise. And Kathy is in Bakersfield, and we are a local business. and we love your support, and we love our clients. I had a gentleman, um, an older gentleman, call for a trip to Alaska, and um, he didn't want to do a video chat, but he had a lot of things he wanted to show me. So I very happily drove to Nampa. It's about 45 minutes to an hour from here. Went to his house and we worked out his whole trip. I got it all booked right there, so he didn't have to do any of the online forms or anything that would make him feel uncomfortable. And we had the best time. We got to know each other. Right before I left, he even asked me to fix his computer for him. But we just had a blast. I still keep up with him now, and I just truly love all my clients and want them to have just the best possible time. It's one of the reasons I became a travel agent. I don't know if many of you know, but I actually have a degree in physics. But this is the job I want to do, and anyone who knows me knows that this is a perfect job for me. I love travel. I love talking about travel. And Josh and I spent many years traveling sort of as digital nomads. So just on the cheap, on our own, backpacking through the world. And one of the important things to us was to keep the prices down so we can continue traveling. We loved that lifestyle. And while my my travel style has definitely gone up in expectations now that I've gotten older, I still love that idea that travel can be approachable for anyone who's willing to make some adjustments. And I'm happy to help provide that to as many people as possible to give them the biggest experience I can give them on the smallest budget possible. And that just means so much to me. Because for us, it isn't about selling vacations, it's just about helping people create memories with the people they love. And I take that responsibility very seriously. Let's see. Josh asks, how have you been able to build relationships with other local businesses? Rude. This is something I've been working on. So it hasn't been a lot lately, but I do have a local trivia company, which is pretty cool, that I've been working with to help make their sort of national championship games, and that was very cool. And so a couple of years ago for I mean, they've got a lot of, it's here in Boise is the headquarters, but they've actually got quite a few tournaments throughout the country. So a couple of years ago, I helped them book a cruise to bring the teams together to fight for the national championship. And that was just so cool to help bring this amazing prize to these local folks, and especially for such a cool company that I love participating in. And Josh reminds me too, I don't know if you can hear him over here whispering. Um, but I've also worked with local vendors as well. I've got an amazing transfer company I love that they told this story about how a woman was taking her kids to the airport to go on their trip, and the kids barfed in the car on the way to the airport. So he thought this idea of starting a business where he actually details your car. So you park at the detailer, he drives you to the airport, they detail your car, and then they pick you up in your own car and you get to drive away. I thought that was a very, very cool idea. But on top of that, they're just a great company. They'll drive Boise to McCall, Boise to Sun Valley. So I've got other vendors like that locally, as I'm sure the other gals do over in California. Amy says it's cute. Thank you. Kathy, you're a great travel agent, but it's a very hard job. It is. It very much is, but I so enjoy it. And really the only parts I don't like is when just like the minorest thing goes wrong. Like I don't get the seats they wanted on the plane or whatever. I'm just like, oh my God, I ruined everything. But it's still I think it's just because it means so much to me. So then I wanted to talk last bit about the future of travel agents, because I do think it's a big thing that's going to come back. We are growing again, and this isn't just what I think. This is an actual thing. The travel agent business is expected to grow from $460 billion in 2025 to $668 billion in 2030. So this is a very much growing business, and I totally expect that based on what we talked about before. We've got a lot more niche travel with all of these influencers wanting to do really specialized custom trips. We're seeing a lot more women wanting to do group travel and solo travel. We're seeing a lot of hobby travelers. There's amazing river cruises for golf. There's bird watching cruises in Alaska in the Northwest Passage. And there's a bunch of pickleball cruises and pickleball hotels popping up everywhere. So a lot of niche, a lot of custom, plenty of groups. Again, if you've ever think of a group, let us know. The amenities are top notch. Let's see. Amy says, it's a great idea. Kathy says, wish we had that in Bakersfield. We love our job. We want a piece of that pie. Absolutely. Yes, I'm hoping to really grow our business this year. Again, as a local company, like every client just means so much. Every trip, every quote affects me personally. So that's very cool. So wrap it up. If anyone has any questions, please put them in there. Otherwise, I'd love to know if you've had any major travel planning challenges. Have you ever had something go wrong on your trip? Or, what's your travel plan for next year? I would love to know. Kathy says, Mahjong is the next pickleball. I sure hope so. I love Mahjong. Uh, Kathy and I were actually on a cruise together. Cindy was there as well, where we went through it was during hurricane season, and a hurricane had come by. This was actually my second hurricane on a cruise. But just like last time, it was so smooth. The captain did an amazing job of navigating us out of the way and taking care of us all. It added an extra day to the trip, which I can definitely see would be challenging for some. Awesome for me. They also added a drink package for us for that day, which was fantastic. So I was so grateful to have my travel agent Kathy there with me to help make sure we managed that extra day. But that's one of my recent whoopsies. Josh wants to go to Japan. Oh, I sure hope to take you there soon. We're hopefully planning to go next year with some friends. We'll say. Amy's doing Alaska in September. Oh, how fun! I said I just got back a couple weeks ago, and it's amazing every time. So cool. All right, so I think that's where we are going to wrap things up. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I very much appreciate you being here, and if you have any travel ideas, travel planning you need help with, if you just want to talk travel, please contact us here at LEG Travel, and we're happy to help you with whatever you need. Happy travels! Bye-bye.